All right, welcome ladies and gentlemen to RunCon Week 1. We're gonna focus today on ankles and feet and shins and calves. We're gonna have our trusty tool, the lacrosse ball, to help us mobilize. So let's begin. First sequence, we're gonna start without the ball. We're just gonna go with body weight. We're gonna go right into a Japanese sit. We're gonna do two variations. The first one, you're gonna sit on your ankles. You're gonna slowly creep back, putting more weight onto your ankles and the tops of your toe knuckles. And just breathe. All we're trying to do is bring some space into our ankles. Yeah, I know it's uncomfortable, especially if we haven't done this in a long time or just haven't done it at all. So once you get to that level of uncomfortable, you can back off anytime by moving forward, but I want you to put as much time, call this time under tension or time under attention, mind to ankle connection, and just hang here and you can rock side to side. Breathing in, breathing out, trying to maintain a calm breath. We're gonna spend about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You can always stop and hang out here for longer. The more space you create in your ankles, the more range, the more options, the more access you have to your ankles. All right, from here, we're going to shift forward and now create space under the toes and the arch. It's great for plantar fasciitis. Anything that ends with itis is inflammation. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna pull all my toes out wide and I shift side to side. I can gradually increase pressure by putting my hands on the heels and just pushing down, leaning back. And breathe through it. I know. Yeah. If this is okay for you, just treat it as a refresher. It's always nice to do some maintenance on our feet because that's our connection to the ground. The more connected we are to the ground, the more in tune we are to the earth. The more in tune, the more feedback we receive from the earth to our bodies. And the more depth we can create within our relationship to running. All right, from here, next move, you're gonna turn your toes in. Let's have our toes come together, knees a little wider, and then slowly sit. We're splaying our knees out, ankles out. Yes, for me, this is actually not too bad because I've been doing this for a long time, so I can do it without hands. But if you can't, just lean forward and then slowly sit into it, rock back, forward, rock back, and forward. Again, around 30 to 60 seconds, just creating some space in your ankles and feet. All right, this next one, we're gonna go with our toes out, knees. Big toes are gonna tuck, heels are gonna pull inwards, and again, sit back, heels in, toes out. I'm gonna rock forward and back. These may be very foreign positions for you. What we're doing is we're also creating more bandwidth, more capacity in these odd positions because if you're running and your foot lands on a curb, the foot will not position itself in a normal place. It's gonna go into an abnormal position, an odd position. And so with that, we're training the feet, the ankles to prepare, to receive this weird position so that when you do face it and confront it with it, it knows what it is. All right. And then from here, we're gonna back off and all we're gonna do is super slow motion toe ankle circles in one direction. freeing up some space, just like you would on your cell phone. Switch directions. You know, when your phone or your computer is out of storage, I hate when that happens. That means I have to reprogram, delete old things, get the gunk out. Waste management is kind of what it's all about here. All right, 30 seconds in one direction, 30 seconds in the other. Really slowing it down. If you have any past injuries, this could be a good chance to check back in and see where in my ankle did I hurt myself. You can close your eyes as well. The slower you go, the further you can carve these circles. Awesome. All right, we're gonna now go to 1 foot at a time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place my hands on the back of my leg, my foot, and I'm gonna pin it down. I'm gonna rest my chest on my thigh, and all I'm gonna try to do is try to decrease the angle from the top of the foot to the shin. Okay, I'm gonna try to close the angle, bring the shin as close as I can down towards the toes, but using my hands to help pin down. And all I'm gonna do is shift forward, side, side, forward. The heel may come up, that's totally okay. I'm just getting it in more depth. Talking to my calves. All right, wonderful, let's switch. Hand on the back of the heel, clasping, gripping the Achilles and just kind of squashing, compressing it in. Bring the heel closer to you, your midline, so that you can shift forward over it. Sometimes you may not feel this quite right away, but when I feel it the most is after a run. I know that I can feel, this is the soleus muscle that I'm working. It's the braking muscle. So if I train hills, up and down the hill, going down the hill is what turns the brakes on. That's gonna create some soreness. And then when I do this, oh, it loves it so much. That's right, just taking your time, leaning in, bringing your chest into your thigh, shifting forward. All right, fantastic. From here, let's have a sit. And all I'm gonna do right now is gonna work on one leg. I'm gonna grab onto the back of my thigh, all right? And then I'm gonna do a point of the toe. Then I'm gonna pull it up and flex, toes towards shins. Keep going, pressing down and up. Let's create a little bit of activation in the calf and the shin. Get it to a point where it starts to bring some heat. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can lean back against a wall so that your hip flexors are loose, so you can just focus on the leg. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And from here, I'm gonna start to circle around, and now I can see the foot rotating. It's very crucial that you can see what's happening. So when I started to do it behind, I couldn't really see what was going on. So it's good to get a visual. All right, just a couple circles this way. And then from here, we're gonna turn our toes in. I wanna grab onto my thigh, my knee actually, turn the toe in with the ankle flexed inwards. Then I'm gonna press down, then I'm gonna turn it out, and then I'm gonna pull it up. So I'm going inwards, gas pedal down, outwards, up, in, down, out, up, in, down, out, up, two more, in, down, out, up, one more, in, down, out, and up. All right, let's go to the other leg. Grabbing onto the back of the hamstring, the back of the thigh, and let's just do some gas pedals forward and back. Getting all those toes to flex and claw, and then as I come up, open up the toes. Good, and then from here, let's do some circles. Seeing all the muscles that contribute to this movement. Switch directions. And then we're gonna go into the internal rotation. Try not to turn the actual shin. So grab onto the shin calf and then point down, gas pedal down. Then I externally rotate with the toes still pointing down, and then I pull up. In, down, out, up. In, down, out, up. 2 more. In, down, out, up. That's right. In, down, out, and up. Yes! All right, ankles are feeling pretty good. Now let's take mobility. We've created some space. Now let's use that space. So we're gonna turn on the shins and calves with this movement here. So I'm gonna go into a squat position. Now it might be tough for you to squat it out. So what I can recommend is you roll up the back of your yoga mat, okay? And this is just to help get you into that squat position. All right, so with heels elevated. So I'm just gonna hold that position. You're gonna feel your weight wanting to fall back. So you have to turn on your hips, you have to turn on your ankles. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna stand up. Then I'm gonna tippy toe. Okay, feeling the balance. I've created that space now in the ankles. Now I'm trying to close or utilize that space. And then I'm gonna sit back into my heels and then squat down. Seems nice and simple. We're gonna try just 4 more, so a total of 5. Squatting up, lift the heels, balance. And then coming down, squatting down. And again, 3 more. Tippy toes, balance, balance. Try not to let your heels splay out. Keep them right inwards. And then down. The key to the mobility is how do they cross? How do they work together with stability? Think of it as a sort of a test. We're going to retest after this to see how this feels. 2 more. Toes as tall as you can. Go onto your tippy toes. Squatting down. Last one. Hold it up. And down. All right. Now, let's continue to create space. We're gonna finish out this first bit with some ball rolling, okay? So the first thing you wanna do is grab 1 ball. If you need balance, you can use the wall. I'm gonna stand right over top the ball, and I'm gonna do a arch roll. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cross fiber. So I'm gonna pin the heel down, and then I'm gonna fan the toes to the inside and then to the outside. Just putting as much pressure as I can to the point where it feels, uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable, but not painful, where nothing jumps away from the ball. There you go, about 30 seconds. All right. And from here, instead of cross fibering, I'm gonna go up and down along the inside arch, then the middle of the foot, and then a little bit more on the outside. It might be a little bit difficult. You're gonna hit a notch of the foot. That's okay. Back on the inside. Should feel really nice after a long day of work or just not doing too much. This is so good. I'm just working on the conditioning of our feet here. Super important. All right, now I'm gonna go on to the not quite the middle of the arch, just below the padding of the foot, okay? So the higher part of the foot, just below the balls of the feet. Rolling side to side, cross fibering. Yes, you can see your toe knuckles starting to spread open. The wider your feet are, the longer, the more space they have. They can move, they can almost grip the ground, which makes you a much more injury prevented and high performing, higher potential runner. All right, and the last one we're gonna do is right below the heel, so towards the arch, we're gonna step on that ball, and then I'm just gonna do a little wiggle side to side, pinning the big toe down, And just side to side, side to side. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right, I've got 2 more spots to finish off before I get to the other foot. We're now gonna go right onto the shin. Okay, so you're gonna take the ball, here's the shin bone, and here's this big muscle called the tibialis anterior. All right, when that muscle is overworked, you're gonna get some pain at the top of your ankle and all the way even underneath your foot. So that definitely is a key place to mobilize, to massage, and just bring some blood flow too. So I'm on my all fours and I'm just gonna roll the ball up and down. So join in here, putting the pressure on. I'm gonna roll slow, smooth. Get a couple of hairs pulled out. Yes, I did not shave my legs today, so I'm definitely feeling this. Oh, but it feels great. And then one technique that we're gonna do here to finish is called a pin and stretch. So I'm gonna pin the ball with the high part of the shin, again on the muscle. Boom, my knee is gonna drop to the ground, and all I'm gonna do is gas pedal, pulling the toes down and back, and then pulling them back up. Whew. Oh my goodness. This is some good healthy stuff for the shins. And then I can circle around too. All right, that's your shin. And let's get into the calf. All right, let's rest the ball right on the middle of the calf. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll up and down. You probably do this with a foam roller, but the ball gets right in there into those nooks and crannies that the foam roller can't quite get. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the outside line of the calf and a little more on the higher part of the calf. All right, and then what we're gonna do here to finish off, you're gonna leave it at the middle of your calf and breathe, ladies and gentlemen, breathe. Placing the foot on top and and just breathing it out. I can do a pin and stretch as well. Look at the foot. I'm gonna pull towards the shins and then extend. I can do it without that and it's still amazing. And I shift to a different position. Pull up, press down, pull up, press down, shift, pull up, press down, pull up, press down. Let's do one more on the outside. Flex, extend, flossing. So when we pin and stretch, we start to create this flossing motion, which is so good. It helps de-gunk those fibers, just like you would flossing your teeth. All right, let's get to the other side. Here we go. Shin, roll, up and down. Week 1, starting off strong, right? Ooh, most important thing is our feet. Oh, I'm gonna go into my feet later. Skip that one through. And the order isn't super crucial. Let's just make sure that you get to these parts and you spend good quality time on them. Pin the knee down. Make sure it's not on your bone, and we pull the toes up and back, flexing and extending. We call it dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. I'm feeling this bing, bing, bing coming right to the top of my ankle. That's good. All right, from here, let's get to calf. Looking good so far, everyone. Everyone meaning you. Rolling up and down. You could be watching TV here. Once you get a sense of the sequence, then it'll be super easy for you to just do it while focusing in on maybe a podcast. You don't have to watch my pretty face this whole time. All right, I'm gonna pin it down to one spot in the middle of the calf. Oh, mama. Breathe, Julian, breathe. Ah, and then flex and extend the foot. Flossing, flossing, flossing. Yeah, all these years, ever since I started doing this, it's still difficult. It's still uncomfortable. I can definitely tolerate it more, but it's still just as much intensity as when I first did this stuff. Thanks to a guy named Kelly Starrett. He's the author of an amazing book, mobility book called How to Become a Supple Leopard. That's what flipped the switch for me. All right, let's finish off with our foot. And then we'll be good with our ankles, feet, shins, and calves. So up and down. Yeah, just massaging it all out. You can slow it down. If you hit any trigger points, you can just smash it down and hang and hold and put more weight there. Okay, let's do the heel pin and then cross fiber, the middle arch. Let's get up a little higher. Take your time. Enjoy. Week 1 is all about becoming more in tune with your body. In tune with these parts of our body that allow us to do more of what we love, but do it in a health conscious approach as opposed to just a performance-based approach. Yeah, because we love our body so much. We want the best for it. All right. Friend, amazing work. That was your week 1 ankle, shin, calves, feet treatment. This is a mobility sequence. This is definitely going to take your relationship to the ground to a much deeper level. You're going to appreciate the shoes that you have because then your feet are going to be alive in them. You might even shift into some barefoot training too. So for more of that stuff, keep checking in with me on my Instagram, julianho.ca, and good luck on the rest of your week. Week 1, good work. May the flow be with you.